Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our Wednesday session. My name is Edwin, and with me we have uh, I have James. So James, you can perhaps say hi. James, are you in a position to hear me?
Hello, everyone. My name is James Mbogwa. Welcome to the session.
All right, I think we can begin. So today we'll be looking at the UK 100 index and the dynamics around that instrument. So we shall start with the presentation, as we always do. Then we'll jump into the charts just to have a feel of where the price is and uh, any technical setups that might be at play at present. So UK 100 is a stock index. So it's composed of 100 largest companies listed on the London Stock Exchange. So these are the biggest companies by market capitalization. So the UK 100 index is also referred as FTSE 100. So the initials stand for Financial Times Stock Exchange 100 share index. So we'll use those terms interchangeably. So when you talk of FTSE 100, we are referring to one and the same thing as UK 100. So traders try to track this index as a reliable barometer to indicate the performance of the UK economy in general. So the index is maintained by FTSE Group, which is a subsidiary owned by the London Stock Exchange. Then when it comes to the composition of this index, first of all, it was launched way back in 1984. And for a company to be listed, rather for a company to be part of this index, it doesn't necessarily have to be a British company, but it must be listed in the London Stock Exchange. So you can have overseas companies which are traded in the London Stock Exchange becoming part of that index. So as a sizable number of the listed companies being foreign-based, so a good number of the companies are foreign-based, then the value of this index may be affected by fluctuation in the value of pound. So a weakening pound would have dollar-based companies having more value. However, when the value of pound is strengthening, companies doing business in the European zone may tend to be worth less in the UK. So the index components are reviewed quarterly, and this is to ensure that it includes the companies with the highest market capitalization. So it's actually reviewed quarter by quarter. So how then is this index calculated? So the index is calculated using the total market capitalization of the companies that form this index and the value of the index. So when FTSE 100 is quoted up or down, it is measured against the previous day's market performance, mainly the closing prices or at the close of the market. So it is calculated within the trading day when the London Stock Exchange is open, and that is between 8 a.m. up to 4:30 p.m. UK time. So a decline in FTSE index indicates that most constituent companies, or most companies that form that index, are depreciating in market value. However, when the price of the index is appreciating, that is indicative that most companies are quoted in that index are performing better. So the top 10 largest companies by market capitalization of this index as at 21st June this year are as follows. So we have AstraZeneca being the top company. Its market capitalization is around 180.3 billion pounds. Shell, its market cap is 157.2 billion pounds. HSBC Bank at 122.2 billion. Unilever at 102.0 billion. BP at 79.3 billion. Diageo at 74.3 billion. Rio Tinto at 64.5 billion. British American Tobacco at 57.5 billion. Glencore at 56.1 billion, and GlaxoSmithKline at 55.8 billion pounds. So those are the top 10 companies that constitute that index. Then when it comes to the weighting by sector, as at 1st January 2023, we have a table in the next slide which tends to show the sectors for the past 5 years. So as at 1st January 2023, or towards the end of last year, the largest sector that constituted this index was consumer staples sector, and it comprised 19.38% of the index. The second largest sector was the financial sector, and the weighting was 17.67%. Then the largest individual index constituents in terms of companies, as we have seen, the first one is AstraZeneca. Then we have Shell, Unilever, and HSBC Holdings, PLC. So these 5 largest constituent companies represent approximately 33% of the whole value of the index. So this table just shows the weightings of different sectors as at the end of those years, way back from 2018 up to 2022. So as you can see, as at 31st December 2022, we have the consumer staples leading the composition at 19.38%. Then we have financials following closely at 17.67%. Then the third is the energy sector at 13.02%. Then what moves the price of FTSE 100 index? So the first thing is changes in economic policies. So for example, times during which when we would have rising interest rates, that occurrence might cause the price of the index to fluctuate, especially for the case of financial services companies. The economic events also can affect the price of the index. So things such as trade deals, foreign relations, as well as geopolitical events like, for example, Brexit, which was quite protracted, then such events would have the value changing from time to time. Then the other thing, which is normally anticipated, is the earning reports and forecasts. So earnings reports and forecasts or projections of how different companies would perform, mainly those companies that are the largest within that index. Such earnings reports or expectations would also cause a lot of movement as buyers and sellers begin to position themselves, anticipating either for a very good financial year or perhaps a poor performance. Then commodities trading and mining companies, which comprise slightly over 10%, they can also affect the performance of this index because 10% is quite huge. So when the prices of commodities are fluctuating quite significantly, they will tend to have a ripple effect on the performance of this index as well. Then lastly, we have industry-specific taxation or legislation changes. So policies in regards to taxation can also affect the performance of the index. Then now we can jump into the charts just to have a look at how the index has been performing lately and what we are likely to expect moving forward. So I'll now hand over to James to run us through the chart in order for us to have a sense of what to expect in the coming days. James?
Hello guys, my name is James. Can you enable the screen sharing? Are you able to view my screen, Edwin, on your side?
Yes.
So when it comes to FTSE or UK 100, we have been having some prices which the market normally bounce off. We have been having strong support and resistance. As I may take you through as a whole, the whole view of FTSE. This is the monthly time frame. When I'm in monthly time frame, I'm able to see some prices where the market had strong support. This is where the market, the lowest price, that is 4774.94. And also we had another support. We had another support that was created on this point. This is 6698.49. Going through up to the highest price as per now, it is 8047.48. So throughout the higher time frame, I'm able to mark these points because they are important key support or key resistance to me. So once I go down to the weekly time frame, I'm able to view those prices at a huge scale. And I'm also able to have certain prices that I'm able to mark on this point. This is where we had another support where the market broke down and then it came, did a retest, and then it came and did a retest. This is another strong resistance. As you can see, the liquidity that was here, the selling pressure or the selling power that was lying on this resistance was very strong. It pushed that price up to 4774.94. So this is also another resistance, as I may call it, a strong resistance. So on the daily time frame, I'm able to have that price, and also on the weekly time frame, that is, and also I'm able to have this price right here. This is 7243.66, which also act as a support to me, and also at some point a resistance. So when I go down to the daily time frame, there are certain charts or certain patterns which I'm able to view, which act as a continuation pattern, reversal pattern. But for me now, when I go to the daily time frame, I'm able to draw a descending channel, a descending triangle channel, or descending triangle pattern, that is. This descending triangle pattern is consisted of lower highs, and then there is a support beneath where the price has struggled to break below. But at some point, when I'm having this pattern, you remember the price that I was drawing on the weekly time frame. That was 7681.27. When I go to the daily time frame, I go back to the daily time frame, I'm able also to see that price is being used here as a resistance and also as a support at some point. So once the market broke out of this price, it came, did a retest, and then it pushed down to this support level that we are creating on this 7243.66. So descending channel is made up of lower highs and a support, or descending triangle pattern, that is. So me having this descending triangle pattern, I know that the market is going to push up to this support and then go back and then push, come back again, and then push to these prices. And also it managed also to come back to that support, but we didn't have that clean touch on the support. When I go now to the 4 hour, most of the time we normally use the 4 hour to identify the structure of the market. So I'm able to view the whole picture in a very clear sketch, or in a very clear design. So once the market came up to this point, I'm starting to see this support zone. It's very strong, where the market comes and then it bounced off. It came again for the second time, it bounced off. For the third time, it also bounced off. And also I'm having certain lower lows. The market was creating lower lows up to some degree. And then we also have pattern inside a pattern. So on my side, on the recent market, or on the present market, I'm having an ascending channel at this degree, or at this point. And most of us, we know that the ascending channel, at some point, it is a reversal pattern. Once we break this higher lows, we will manage to break, and then we also, if possible, we might have a retest, and then we push down back to the support zone. But for now, I only have the descending triangle and also the ascending channel. So as per me, I'm waiting for the market to come to 7582.99 so that I may also wait for candlestick confirmations, which might occur on this point, and I might see the prices pushing back down to the support zone or support area. So for me, we are also trying to create another channel at this point, which when you go back to 1 hour time frame, you're able to see. So this one looks like a continuation flag where we push the price up to that point, we push again to this point, and then we push again to this point again. And also we might come back to some degree up to this point where I've drawn this point. This is where we had the demand. So we might come back and get the demand, and then we get a strong push to the upside. So this looks like a continuation flag. And then I'm waiting for the price to come up to 7582.99. So on that, on my side, that was only the view on my side.
All right. Thank you very much, James, for that breakdown right from monthly time frame.
Yes.
Maybe just to add, you can allow me to share what I was able to see from the chart.
Okay.
So just enable me to share. So you can check on my name and you can make me the host. But okay, it's okay. It's okay. So mine is more of a short term projection. Just confirm from your side whether you can be able to view my charts, James.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so for me, I was looking at it from an hour, from a 4-hourly chart, then down to 1-hourly chart. So what I was able to see is this formation here. So from mid-October right through to the start of November,
Yes.
price was on a very sharp decline. Then thereafter, it began to form the channel. So if I was equally able to see that channel formation. So it more or less looks like a bearish flag for me. Then moving down to an hourly time frame, within that structure, we also have a structure. So for me, I was able to cite a triangular structure, which has been forming since last week, sometimes on Monday. So price has been consolidating within this triangular structure. So we had that sharp decline. The market again rose from that point, shot upwards to form a ceiling at that point. Then it dropped again from that point, came back down to form another low. Then forming that low, it rose again to form a peak. So if you look at the upper side, you'd be able to see that we have 3 peaks, whereby if you are to draw a trend line along those peaks, they would tend to align just as much as the troughs are from the lower side. So we have the first low, the second low, and the third low was formed today. So price seems to me as though it has consistently been consolidating within this triangular structure. And as we are all well aware, in most cases when we have triangular structures, we can either have price breaking on either side of the market. So for me, my projection is that I'd rely on the previous highest points and the previous lowest points to target to have that as a target where I'd expect a price to move back. So in my estimation, if this decline, which has persisted for the better part of the day, is to be sustained, possibility is high for the price to drop and come back to retest this most recent previous low. However, if price is to drop to hit this floor, of course, it had retested this floor earlier today, and it seems as though it has continuously been dragging higher towards the upper side. So if it sustains that momentum, then we would be checking the reaction upon touching the ceiling. And if it breaks that ceiling, then the most obvious level to test would be this most recent or the second recent previous lower high. So the price level is around 75.14. Then the most recent previous low is at around 7403.15. So those are the key levels which I'll be targeting depending on how the market continues to behave. So basically that's it. Not unless you have something to add, James. James, do you have anything else to add?
No, Edwin, that was all. And I didn't see that channel.
Yeah. So, of course, you can have the same thing, but the way you look at that thing, you might tend to see something which somebody else is not able to see.
Yeah.
But all in all, at least for the most part, we've clearly identified the channel which is slowly ascending upwards.
Yeah.
So the other thing is the Friday event. So this coming Friday, 24th, we have an event where we'll be celebrating 1,000,000 lives touched through our financial literacy educations or sessions that we've been holding. So we are inviting you all. So the event is free and you can register on our socials. So TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. So we have links available. So all you have to do is to look for FX Pesa in any of those social channels. Then once you get the link on the profile, you click on it and register. Then on Friday, so this coming Friday on 24th of November, you can come through at around 3 p.m. So the event will be at is it Skate City? Yeah, Skate City at Diamond Plaza.
Sky City.
Once Sky City at Diamond Plaza. So once you register, you'll be able to get the details of how to find the venue. Otherwise, I wish you all a very pleasant evening, and I look forward to meeting you on Friday. So enjoy the rest of your evening.